What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Gamer Talk Tuesday. Hopefully everybody is having a great Tuesday, and hopefully everybody had a pretty good weekend, had a great weekend, had a fantastic weekend. But anyway, without further ado, let's just jump right into the video. So if you guys are Halo fans, or if you are interested in Halo Infinite, or if you are just tuned in to the Halo gaming world, you are probably well aware of this big controversy in the Halo community right now. So basically, from my understanding, what's going on is 343 Industries, I think I mentioned this about a video or two ago, and 343 had come out with this new armor coating for Halo Infinite multiplayer. And I mean, I thought it was pretty cool personally, and I just kind of thought everything was going dandy. I mean, my only complaint about the whole thing was the first armor coating that 343 had showed off. It wasn't really that interesting. You know, it was just a clean looking set of armor. I said, okay, cool, whatever, coatings, I don't know what that even means yet. And then 343 released another render of armor coatings, and people, for some reason at this point, did not like what was going on, because along with this new release or showing of this armor coating, somebody from 343 also mentioned that there was also going to be microtransactions. So I'm just going to leave that right there, and we are going to go to the article really quick that I wanted to read to you. So on GameSpot.com, the headline says, Halo Infinite Microsoft responds to microtransaction concerns regarding new coating system. So just as I mentioned about 343 releasing this new render for this armor coating, right? I think it's called Monarch or something, Monarch armor coating. And along with that, this was on Halo Waypoint. So just below that, there is a whole section about, you know, what the heck the coatings are, how the coating system is going to work, how the customization system is going to work, this, that, and the third. And people just started to flip for some reason. But anyway, let me continue. Microsoft assures fans that customization items can also be earned through gameplay. Halo developer 343 Industries recently announced that weapon, vehicle, and player skins in Halo Infinite will be called coatings, in quotes, and immediately people expressed concerns about microtransactions. We've now learned a bit more about how these are structured in the game and whether you'll need to spend money to get new coatings. Furthermore, community manager John, I don't know how to really pronounce his name, Junesick, I'm just going to call him June for now, June from Halo Reach, responded to fans' concerns. Writing on Twitter, he said that while Infinite will have a microtransaction store, it won't be the only way to get the game's customization items, which go beyond coding. So I kind of figured that we were already kind of beyond, you know, the whole microtransaction thing, in the sense that I thought the Halo player fan base had this understanding of, as long as the microtransactions are not, say, pay to win, you know, as long as you don't have to buy things to help you win the game. I say almost kind of with Halo 5 in, what was it, Warzone mode. So in Warzone mode, just in case you guys have never played Halo 5, have never seen it, but if you are fans of Halo, you probably know what's going on in Halo 5. So in Halo 5, you were able to purchase packs and stuff where you can get, you know, rockets and tanks or whatever. And while that's not really pay to win, those things did help you in game should you be successful in using all of these items. So I think that was kind of really the biggest thing when it comes to microtransactions, was being able to buy more weapons and stuff. 343, I mean, they hadn't said anything about a Warzone mode or being able to buy weapons and stuff or any pay to win sounding things. They just said, yeah, you can buy customization stuff. So I'm not really sure where, you know, this whole outrage is coming from. I mean, I even saw, I might have to find the article. If I find it, I will leave it down below. But I found something where people were basically saying that they were thinking of boycotting Halo Infinite. So they weren't going to buy the game until 343 made some changes to it. And I'm going, but why? Why? I mean, I get it. People like, you know, I guess more of the Halo Reach kind of thing where you you only bought maps or DLC maps when they were getting released, right? Because all of the armor and stuff, it was all in the game and on the disc already for the most part. The only thing that wasn't on the vanilla version of Halo were I think the blue flames. That was added later. But anyway, I digress. So I'm just not entirely sure where the whole microtransaction outrage really comes from. I find it pretty strange because I swear people were making a pretty big deal about, you know, pay to win sub, because Call of Duty was doing a lot of crazy stuff like that and being greedy. I mean, what's his name? John June pretty much made it clear. I mean, he said, hey, yeah, you can buy stuff on the store, but you can also unlock stuff in the game. And, you know, I kind of get it too, you know. I would be in the same boat of, you know, only being able to unlock cool stuff in the game instead of buying armor and stuff, you know, on a store. But what people also have to realize is that the game industry changes, right? So just in terms of marketing and what's a better word for it? I guess the whole economics, if you will, of the gaming world, because just over time, you know, game companies found out, hey, you know, we can just make a game free to play, but then make up all of this money by having microtransactions. So if you want to buy skins, I mean, Fortnite basically, right? Pretty much Fortnite. So people can pretty much play Fortnite for free, from my understanding. But in terms of cosmetics and stuff, you're gonna have to buy them, right? I don't really think you can unlock stuff in Fortnite. Correct me if I'm wrong for you fact checkers out there. But anyway, correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I mean, I don't play Fortnite, but I do understand that you can actually buy skins and stuff in Fortnite. So that's kind of the trend, right, for the gaming world. And I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I had to just accept that, because you have to also remember that, you know, games are a business, right? You have to be able to, you know, figure out where you can take some cuts, but then make the money up elsewhere. So I'm not sure if people are kind of looking at it in that lens or not. And trust me, I love Halo. You know, I want the best for it. I mean, I don't really want microtransactions either, but if the game is free to play and it's just cosmetics, whatever, you know. And I've been seeing just a whole bunch of videos on YouTube talking about this whole controversy going on. I didn't watch them, to be honest, so I'm not exactly sure what people are outraged about. And you know, I didn't really want to watch them because I don't like to get other people's, you know, things in my head. You know, everything I'm telling you right now is what I had just come up with, right? This is just my mind to you. Again, just understanding from what I saw, I mean, it's just going to be cosmetics for microtransactions. And I think the other issue was, in the last video, I mentioned how 343 mentioned that they're going to be getting rid of the old customization system where, you know, you just had your primary and secondary colors, right? Mainly, I think this is more in relation to Halo Reach that people keep trying to make comparisons to. So in Halo Reach, in case you don't know, you had a per piece basis of armor customization, right? So you can customize this shoulder, your helmet, your visor, attachments on the helmet, whatever. So it seems to be the case thus far for Halo Infinite that it's going to be per piece. And I'm only saying that because on Halo MCC, 343 went back and changed all of the full armor single customization, if that makes any sort of sense, and then reconfigured the whole system so that way you can then choose a per piece basis option again, right? Because, for example, Halo 2 Anniversary. So Halo 2 Anniversary, when it was released, it was only there were only two options. No, I think just one option. Yeah, it was only one option. You just choose the helmet and everything else all together. So you just had Mark 6, Centurion, and a third option. And you couldn't really mix match any of the armor pieces or the helmets or anything of that nature. But then 343 came back to the MCC and then allowed you to pretty much change everything on a individual basis. So instead of having two Mark 6 shoulders and just Mark 6 everything, you can have a Centurion shoulder, a Mark 6 shoulder, a Mark 6 helmet, Centurion legs, whatever the options were. So I think 343 has a pretty good understanding of what the fan base wants in terms of customization. So I'm just going to call it confirmation for per piece armor customization for Halo Infinite. And just really quickly before we leave, because I don't want to keep you guys here too long for Gamer Talk Tuesday, but this whole thing with armor coding. So 343 mentioned how they were going to, again, replace the whole primary, secondary color system thing and have this 7-layer system, which, again, I mentioned how, you know, when I was reading it, you know, there is a lot of room for different interpretations of how 343 kind of worded this whole thing. And if you guys don't know what it is that I'm talking about, I will leave a time card up here somewhere, and you guys can go and check out that video and then see what it is that I am talking about exactly. And there's an article below, just so that way you guys can go ahead and read it if you want to, because I don't want to spend too much time re-explaining everything. But anyway, there's supposed to be some kind of 7-layer system for armor customization. And then 343 had pretty much said, hey, we're going to, you know, get rid of this system. And it was a tough call. They said that we're going to get rid of this system and put a new one in, so that way it allows players to have more expansive customization. So people didn't like that at all, but my whole thing was, okay, we've always wanted more customization options. So what if things are, you know, worded differently? For all we know, I mean, I have no clue, but for all we know, it's going to be a pretty similar system, just with different words, different phrases, just so that way 343 could organize it how they please. So that was a huge thing. And then codings, right? Codings was a huge thing. People are saying, oh, what the heck is codings? Is it just like getting different, what is it called in Destiny? Getting different patterns or color skins or whatever? Because if you guys don't know Destiny, I forget what it's called, but you can essentially get different color palettes and then place them anywhere you want to on Destiny 2, I believe. So I did see some things where people were saying, oh, this is just gonna be Destiny, this is just like Destiny, whatever. But I said, okay, you know, I didn't really like that idea with coatings being, you know, just different colors that you can unlock. Because if I want green, do I have to unlock the color green? I don't want to have to unlock colors. You know, I think unlocking colors is pretty stupid, but I actually held off on that thinking, because guess what? I just went on to the Halo Master Chief Collection Halo 4 flight, right? So I was in the customization menu for the Season 4 flighting, and you guys can see where I am actually highlighting Enforcer Tribal Coating at the bottom left hand side of the corner. It says Enforcer Left Spalder Customize with Tribal Coating. And then as I am selecting between the Enforcer Tracer and the Tribal, you can see that both of them say coating. So I don't know, again, I don't know how 343 is using, you know, their new language per se, but for all we know, coatings can just be a different variation. So instead of calling it a skin, you know, for the same armor piece, but with just a different pattern on it, it's just called a coating. So that's how it looks to me. So for example, let's just say this one right here was the first candy or clean looking one, right? So this shoulder piece would be the fresh, brand new, unbroken, you know, fresh paint looking shoulder piece. And then the one below it is the really worn out one, or the Monarch one, right? It has paint chips. You can see some of the raw metal under it. You know, it's the same armor piece, just, you know, looks much more worn, scratched up, whatever. Or you could even have a third one that looks much more glossy, and then in a separate option, you can choose what color it is. So just because 343 put the word coating at the end of both of these armor pieces, this is the same across the board for all the other armor pieces and stuff. I mean, even for Oceanic, it says circuit coating, and then it says solid coating. So I don't know if this is going to be what's going to, you know, be used in Halo Infinite, if that makes any sort of sense. I'm not that good at articulating things that well, sorry. But point being is that if 343 put the word coding in here, that leads me to believe that whatever we see right here in Season 4 is most likely what's going to be in Halo Infinite. So I personally don't think that the codings are going to be just like unlocking color palettes in Destiny 2. Because, I mean, 343 is going to have to be consistent, because I don't see why they would put coding in these options and not have it be the same kind of system for Halo Infinite. So I'm gonna have to say that 343 will be consistent on this, and this is going to be what the coding system is. It's just different looking armor, or different looking versions of the same armor pieces. Because again, it says coding right here, and I have no other form of reference, and this is my evidence pretty much, right? This is all I have to go off of. But anyway, guys, that's gonna have to do it for this one, and hopefully, you know, I kind of gave you a different philosophy on this thing. Because look, I love Halo, you obviously love Halo, and I'm sure that you guys have seen all this weird news and controversy, whatever. But again, I don't know how many people know about this right here, because I was actually going, wait, these are codings right here in Halo 4? So if these are codings, then they just mean different variants of the same armor piece, because that was what was going on in Halo 5 pretty much. Because we all know Halo 5, they have 6 different versions of the same set of armor, but I think they're just called different skins. But I guess it looks to be just called codings this time. I can be wrong, but this is my only form of reference right now. But anyway, guys, that's gonna have to do it for this one. Let me know what you guys think of codings right now, especially since I just showed this to you. You guys can clearly see that it said codings at the bottom, or coding at the bottom, instead of skins, and instead of using the term variant. So very, very interesting. And again, I would just hold off on, you know, hating on Halo Infinite before we actually get the game, because again, we'll hear things, we'll see some stuff here and there, but until we get the game, we won't really know if it's a yay or if it's a nay. But anyway, guys, that's gonna have to do it for this one. Thank you guys again for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you guys can please like, subscribe, comment, and enjoy the content, that would be absolutely super fantastic as always, guys. And as usual, I will see you in the next one. And I gotta forget to kind of outro.